Hello. Hello. I'm here. It's early. Maybe. Maybe it's early. I think it's early. Is this early? I don't know. I'm going to consider it early. I'm here early. I'm here right on time. All right, let me see. Let me get stuff set up here. Let me get stuff working. What's going on here? What's going on here? Why is this not? It's not letting me get to the chat. Hold on. Hold on. I can't see you yet. Hold on. Hold on. What in the world? Okay, let me try. Let me try again. See if I can get it to. Because I see that there's chat there, but I cannot open the chat. So I can't see who's here. Oh my goodness. What is happening? um, I see you. Sort of. Kind of. Not really. Not really. This chat is not opening up. All right, let me try again. Hold on. Welcome, everybody that's here that I can't see. I know you're there. I know you're there. I just can't see you yet. I can't open this chat. There we go. There we go. Now I see you. Now I see you. Hi. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Oh, okay. Got Tarot Goddess here. Man, this chat is not working well today. I got Cousin B here. Hi, Cousin B. Thanks for being here. Judy's here. Hi, Judy. Thanks for being here. Yes. Oh my goodness. So I am very proud of myself for being here early. Er, earlier. But also, of course, we've got some craziness happening that I have to show you. So anybody that does not like any of my earthquake volcano shenanigans, now's the time to close your eyes because we got some craziness happening. I'm surprised I'm not later because I was just like watching this. Look at this. Look at this. And what's so crazy is this. So, I talked about yesterday, I talked about last week, I sent little messages to everybody that we had a lot of solar energy that was coming in and it was disrupting our electrical system. And so it could give us cold symptoms. Well, this is the earth with a big old cold symptom. This is the same energy that um, has been coursing through our bodies and giving us all kinds of issues. This is the same thing. Hey, Josh! Oh my gosh, this chat is not working. I'm missing everybody. Hi, Josh. Thanks for being here. Oh, hi, Jew. Thanks for being here. And Rumple. Hi, Rumple. Thanks for being here. But look at this. And this is episode 41. So we just had 41 come up a couple of times yesterday. And some people have 41 as their life path number. This is insane. But you'll probably have a couple of things going on. Where this means that if you are still feeling doo doo garbage, like cold symptoms, like if you're still feeling like an excess amount of energy flowing through your body, the earth is right now releasing that energy and can help you. So, ground, make sure you're grounding. Um, Go touch grass. Yes, you can inspect the grass. No, you cannot have shoes on in the grass. I love you, but that's not grounding. You need to like actually touch grass with bare feet. If you can't do bare feet, because I know I love y'all, so I know some of y'all can't do bare feet. Um, Put your hands in the dirt. Go garden. Go play with the snow. Go something. Something. Get grounded. But I know also we have like a huge cold front that's coming through, so most of us do not want to go outside. Um, and so I thought what I could give you was a little bit of a meditation exercise that you can do to be able to release some energy and ground while you are inside. But right now is a really, 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 really good time to be able to take advantage of the earth releasing this energy. Because the earth releasing this energy in this way is very powerful and helpful for us. So, here's what you do. Now, you do not have to, like, when I talk about meditation, it can also just be visualization. So you don't have to go and do all the things. You don't have to go do all the things. No. You can simply just be in a comfortable position. You can put on music. It is hip hop day, so a hip hop song will work. Put on music or background noise, nature noise, something that helps you to just feel calm so that you have more control over your thoughts. And then you want to visualize two things. You want to visualize that wherever you're sitting, under your feet, or you could do this standing, under your feet, there's a big opening in the earth. And you can make it gold, you can bling it out, whatever you want. It could be your garden, whatever. But you want to envision energy coming from the top of your head, and you can make it whatever color you want it. So pick your favorite color, envision that your whole body is filled with that color. And then you want to start seeing that color going down because it's draining out of that hole under your feet. And you just keep envisioning that until there is that release. That will help you to move your energy, release some energy, but also it will help you to ground in. Because really, what we should be feeling right now is very energetic. Because all of this energy is being released from the earth. And if you don't feel energetic, then it's probably because you need to release some more. Okay. This is cool. This is cool. It's going to be hard to look away. But how is everybody? We did a whole little meditation time. Come on now. That hole in the ground could be whatever it needs to be, Rumple. Isn't this crazy? Well, and what was it, like 2 Wednesdays ago that we looked at the vibrations of the codes that were coming out of these volcanic eruptions? Now we got to look at this one because this one is whew, big, big energy. Everybody good? Oh, so yep, Judy got that runny nose. Judy got that runny nose. Yep, it's the um all that energy moving around. And we just were told that I think it was last night or early this morning, there were more solar flares. Luckily, these weren't directed at the Earth. They actually were directed downward, like beneath where all the planets are and the sun is. But down there, we have a huge comet that we can't see, but it's underneath there. So that'll be interesting to see how that energy interacts as well. Yeah, this is insane. Look at like that's a lot of ash and dirt and man, oh man, this is crazy. No, Rumpel, because those solar flares they mess with the electromagnetic system of the Earth, and they actually are what caused this cold front. it's causing it's causing the Earth to release that energy through an opposite intensity system, which we're experiencing as weather. So no, we don't want it like that. Yeah, there's a lot of, like I've slept longer and more deeply than I have I think like ever. It was crazy. Oh my gosh. I just love your conversations. I'm just gonna like live in the chat. Oh my goodness. Okay. We'll continue to watch this, but you can put in the chat what I should put on the list. I don't really have much. I mean, I do, but I don't. I want to talk a little bit about 2026. But what hip hop events do you have that you want to talk about for the day? Oh, I just noticed that if I go to a different screen, you all can't watch anymore. So let me go back over here and pause this. This is insane. Can't stop looking away. All right, I'm gonna pause it. And actually, while I'm here, let me go here and let's look at what's happening because I know I have this tab up open also. So let's look at what's happening here. I think I need to press play on this. Let's see what's happening in our sky. Stop! Why? Oh, I hate it when it does that. It's today, the 24th. Okay. So there we go. So what's happening right now in our skies is we do still have a bit of that alignment because here's Venus and here's Mars. This is Mercury right here. So they still have a bit of alignment. The alignment that I was looking at and that we're preparing for now is this one between Saturn and Neptune. So both Saturn and Neptune are slower moving planets. So when they change signs, it's highly impactful. And they are moving together. They're moving out of the sign of Pisces and they're moving into Aries, where Aries is the sign of I am an identity. So at early February, so in a couple of weeks, I think it's February 9th, we definitely have something going on with 369 this year also. because January 3rd, 6th, and 9th came up as some significant vibrational days. And now February is the same thing is happening. And in hip hop, the 6th is when J. Cole is supposed to come out with his album. I still don't believe it until I see it. Like, he gave us a whole ass date, and I still am like, okay, we'll see. But so what we have is this alignment that's happening. Hi, Tiff Tiff. Thanks for being here. Hope you had a great birthday. Um, but the solar flares that just were released, they went from the bottom part of the sun, and so it's this comet right here that's getting hit. And this comet is actually like historically big. Historically big. So that's very interesting of like what's going to be happening there. Let me see if I can. I was zoomed out to be able to see what was happening with these outer planets. Oh, and you can't, and here's Jupiter over here. Oh, Uranus is up there. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in slightly so we could just see this better. Okay, good. We could still see Saturn and Neptune back there. But yeah, this comet right here, and it's interesting because we had this comet and another one that has now moved out that were in this alignment with these planets here, like last week or like the last couple weeks. And now this one is right below all of this. So it's like part of this foundational vibrations that are happening. So, woo, we got a lot of energy going on. Okay. I could talk about this all day long, but we'll come back. We'll come back to this. Let me get us to our whiteboard and we'll make our little list for the day. Okay. So what do we need to put on our list? I know we need to talk about last week's vibration, which was 225. I thought about this after we were done yesterday, but we did see the 8722 come up yesterday as a vibration. So this 22, and we talked about that 11 to 2. And then I wanted to talk about 2026, some of the vibrations that are coming up, especially for hip hop in 2026. But what else? What else did we need to talk about today? Or do you want to talk about today? Any other numbers? Like this 2026, it can be as short or as long as we want it to be. So I wouldn't be mad if there wasn't anything else and we could just talk about that. Because it's actually very interesting, some of the things that are coming up. As I'm looking at the vibrations for 2026, because I was starting to put the 2026 vibrations for hip hop together, the video I'm going to do. So there's some interesting things happening. All right, I'm going to get some water and make sure I didn't miss any good tea in the chat. Oh, yes. Yes, Josh. Yes. We do. So, if you, yeah, because our, this week, our love triangle that we talked about last week has turned into a diamond. But I need to get, I forgot about that. So I need to get, if you could grab her birthday for me, we'll definitely add that. Okay. Yeah. This is going to be a fun day, especially because I feel better. I got some energy. So we'll see what comes through. It's going to be fun. I got Doug out of my head, the Doug theme song. I promise you, I woke up singing that yesterday and it was driving me nuts because I couldn't even think about what it was. Thank you, Josh. So August 1st, 89. Okay. Great. Oh, yeah. We could talk about that appeal too, Judy, but can you grab for me um the case number? Because the case number is that's like the name that we would use. Like if we are saying this is when it was born and when it came to, we want to see the case number and the exact um, date that it was filed. Because sometimes it's filed before we actually hear about it, and sometimes we hear about it the same day. So we need the date of filing and the case file number. And then that'll be good. No, of the appeal, because it'll be the appeal itself should have its own case number. Because it's like the, I was going to say, unlegitimized child of the original case. And I was trying to think of something nicer to say, but I can't because that's like the best example ever. The illegitimate child of the original case is the appeal. So it should have its own case number. Okay, while we do that, this will get us a good day. Let's talk about this vibration that our wheel gave us last week. So this 225. Now you could have seen this as a time or just as the number, like on a license plate or whatever. But the key vibrations here are this 5 of change. But really, it's this 22 that is coming up and has been coming up a lot. Where when we have these 22 together, this is an amplified vibration of 2. Where this is ending division or dualism in multiple areas. So this would be like an event that not only changed things, but it ended division or dualism where it could just end the conversation in a particular space and solidified the stability. It like created some stability because that's the 4. And with the change and then the ending of division and creation of stability, that's what brought on this end. And this 9 can either be an end or it could be a shift that's happening. We are seeing right now in particular, and I think we'll see a lot of it until like the end of March. We're seeing a lot of things that needed to end or shift in 2025. It's like they're doing it right now. we're getting to the end of it for real now. So this 9 could also be if we're seeing things that are from 2025 come back up again. Like, somebody not allowing things to end. That should have ended in 2025, and now we got to deal with it again. And there's the perfect timing from Judy with the docket numbers. Okay, cool. Let's put that in here. Woohoo! Great. Okay, perfect. So, is that the same? Well, it's the same case file as the dismissal order. It may be because I don't know exactly how all that stuff works. Yeah, but it should have its case file of what it's attached to. So that would make sense. Interesting. Okay. Let me get it in here. 399. And it was January 15th. Great. Good work. All right. So we've talked about our 20 or 225. At the end, we will, yeah, it does. It must be, something must have been released because yesterday was rough. And then as soon as that volcano started going crazy, now things seem to be flowing a little bit easier. So at the end, we'll roll our wheel again, spin our wheel, and get a random vibration to look out for this coming week. But we can keep an eye out because we've already seen this yesterday. At least the 22 with our 8722. So let's look for, as we talk about events from this last week, let's look for this vibration in here also. Because we always see every week there's a repeat of all of these different vibrations. Okay. So where should we start? Let's actually start by adding Sophie to our love triangle. Because we spent a lot of time on that last week. And we could just add, because just curious to see. So there was talk this week about how ASAP Rocky was dealing with Sophie before and at the same time, perhaps, as our friend Laubrey, before she was pregnant with Adonis. So around that same time. So that means our love triangle turned into a diamond. So let's put the ladies here. We'll put Riri up here because, I don't know, she needs to be elevated. And I'm just gonna put the numbers for her. So she has her life path number is, actually, her name is 65, so we'll put that there. And then her life path number is 48, the same as Kendrick Lamar. And then, oh my gosh, that's too big. Don't make the diamond too big. Make it smaller this time, lady. Yes, I'm talking to myself. Then we have ASAP Rocky. And ASAP Rocky's name gave us 109. And 39, which is the same life path number as hip hop. And then this is one of those times we didn't get to use any of our fun names because we need the actual vibration. And it actually is significant in this case because it equals 39, and then life path is 58. And then okay, and before we do those numbers, let's add, what color? Let's add these connection point. So when we looked at name, this was 174. And when we looked at life path numbers, it was 87 here. 87, same as truth. Over here, life path numbers was 106. And names was 104. Okay. I think that's everything we've already gotten. And then we did talk about how their Plutos were all in Scorpio because Sophie is born in 89. Her Pluto is also in Scorpio. So we're keeping with this pattern of that Pluto being a connection point for Plutonic or relationships that really bring you the most energetic experiences for your life. So remember, we're moving around that divine triangle, and we're collecting all of these life experiences and adding those vibrations to our vibrational core. And so any of these Plutonic relationships, they're going to add actually more vibrations to your vibrational core because you have a stronger vibrational connection. Wait, what? Okay, wait. He threw me off, Judy. He threw me off. All right, let me write the birthday here before I forget what it is. Cuz I'm actually pretty proud of myself for remembering. What? Oh my gosh. That's actually pretty funny. We'll definitely have to include that in our analysis of that case cuz that's pretty funny. All right, so let's see. For Sophie, and again, so that everybody knows, we are using our little code of A equals 1 all the way to Z equaling 26. And so let's get a calculation. her. Wait, something is happening here. Okay, sorry. Technical difficulties. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What is happening? All right. What? Like, I can't have my chat be behind. All right, there we go. Okay. Okay. All is well. We are calculating Sophie now. So, 19 for S plus 15 plus 16 plus 8 plus 9 plus 5. Well, alrighty then. So, Sophie is 72. Well, and what is just funny to me is how much this whole love diamond thing has been really much louder than I expected it to be within the hip hop space. But here's why. Hip hop, we'll put it up here in this corner. Hip hop's name resonates at 72. So there's the 72. And hip hop's life path number is 39. And we see that here twice. So this is why it has so many connection points. And this, it's not just who's here, but it's because they're in this hip hop space and they have so many of these connection points that are creating this. We also have Rihanna that has a life path number that's the same as Kendrick Lamar. So it's bringing up these big vibrations, and these are these connection points. So then let's look at life path number. So we'll first add up the digits of the year. So 1989, which is interesting because I thought so. But 1989, when we add up those digits, it's 27, which is a mirror image. It's a mirror image vibration to her name. So this means that she has probably either loved or hated her name pretty much all her life, and it will always be that way. Because when you have these mirror images, it either is that you're very accepting of the reflection that you're seeing in the mirror, or that you are rejecting it. So that's very interesting. If we looked into her past and probably in her future also, she probably has a lot, goes by a lot of different names. Like there's name confusion here. And we would see that if we see this kind of mirroring happening. So then if we take that 27 and we add the 8 for August and then the 1 for the date, we get a life path number of 36. Yeah, she's got a lot of 9s. A lot of 9s. So with all these 9s, it's very much that she is probably very quick to end things. End things in her life. Like she just like it's harder for her to substantiate like stretch things out. And this is not just with relationships, but with um just anything that she's doing in life. So she's probably one that changes careers quite often. Um, yeah, ends things a lot because this is a lot of ending energy up in here. Look at all this. This is a 9 too. Yeah, this is a lot. A lot of 9 energy. And we do see that 9 energy here as well. Yeah, I was trying not to bring that up, try to be respectful because I do respect that line of work. So let's see. On the inside of the diamond, we were doing life path numbers. So let's look at her 36 with ASAP's 739 is 75. And so just like how we saw, um, where like here is the 7 again, where it's that like perfect combination of masculine and feminine energy kind of working together. Um, no, it's not disrespectful. Stating facts isn't disrespectful. But I didn't want to say more because I didn't want to come across disrespectful at all. Um, but this 7 is a very strongly resonating energy here. And what we were saying last week is that this combination that starts with 7, where we have 7 here as the first step, makes getting to this harmony place of taking action and flow, having this perfect combination of masculine and feminine. It's easier to get there in the first step than as a like third step. And it's the kind of the same thing here, where here the 7 is in the second step. So a lot of change needed to happen to be able to get to that place of harmony. So then let's also look at 36 plus 58. And that's 94. So this is like that song like from Sesame Street. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. And you can see here, like we just talked about the 7, and the 7 being that harmonization between the masculine and the feminine. And there's no 7 here at all. Like none. We'll look at names and see if it's there. But there's really not that here. Really not that. But this 94 does give us a 13. And then this 58 gives us a 13. So there is a connection point right there. But this is transformation. But this is the transformation that you can't go back from. It's the change you can't go back from, like a child. Can't go back. Some people try. You cannot. All right, let's look at names. So let's take the 72 plus the 109. And so here we get an interesting portal happening. But this portal, so the energies of their names together, is bringing forth this reap what you sow energy. So, meaning it's coming back around like it is right now. That's where this cycling energy is coming from here, especially because she also has the 8 here. And then all of them have 8 as part of their year of birth. So there is that 8 energy there, that cycling energy. Let's look at 72 plus the 39. Oh, well, okay. I should have known that because that's here. So when we have 72 plus 39 here for hip hop, it's 111. So that's what it is here also between their names. And so that's a lot of brand new energy coming into the space. It's creating a lot of 3 energy, which is the most fertile energy. And they've got those 13s. Yeah. That's like babies. That's babies. And oh, then this is interesting also. So remembering that all 4 of these people, hi LT, thanks for being here. You came in at a good time, I see. All 4 of them have that Pluto in Scorpio, which is passion, it's depth, but it's also the energy of anything that's exceptionally passionate. We'll say it that way, exceptionally passionate. Rumple. But what's interesting is if we take their name vibrations, I don't like that color. I need a color that's gonna stand out. I guess we could use a gray again. So if we take their name vibrations and we take their life path number vibrations and we add that together, we get 205. Now here we have finally gotten to the 7. So where we are seeing the 7 pop up really soon, and like we see here with Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, they have the 7 included in both of their combinations. So both with the combination of their life path numbers and with the combination of their names. And that 7 is that perfect blending of the masculine and the feminine energy. So it takes all of those vibrations here between Sophie and L'Aubrey to be able to actually get to the 7. So a lot of steps, a lot of things needed to happen to get to the 7. But what they had the potential to have, and I guess they could still have it, but she's so quick to end things, and like endings for her with all these 9s is very final, because we even have the 9 here too. So like when she ends things, it's done. But the potential was that this 205 is actually the numerical vibration of unconditional love. So if one or both of them had like this, any kind of trauma bonds or trauma requirements that they needed to feel loved, this relationship would have been very charged and felt like it was unconditional love just because of the combination of their vibrations. OLT. Um, so just because of the way that their names and life path numbers are connecting, it very much would have felt like this was like an unconditional love thing happening. And we already saw that with Labri, he didn't just have the one planet of Pluto in Scorpio, but he had his sun and I think Mercury and Venus all there. And so very much can get caught up in this. But it would have taken a lot of work, a lot of steps to actually get to this 7. Very interesting. Josh, anyone? You got any questions? Anything to add? Yeah, but you know what? In all honesty, it very much feels like he he lies most to himself because there's a lot of the lies he tells, especially to these women, that he believes. Because it's interesting because when you look at the vibrations, the way that they move, um, I can see when it's like the level of confidence in it. So it's very, very interesting. Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong, Ruffle. His selfies do tell us a lot, huh? So this is interesting. So our interesting little love triangle that we looked at last week has now turned into an even more interesting love diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Okay, I had to do it. I couldn't keep saying diamond and not do it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna wait and see if there's anything and drink my water, and then we can go on to the next. Yes. You're not wrong, Josh. Drake over there, like, yeah, I'm in a diamond. Doesn't matter if it's fake or real, like my Tupac chain. Oh my gosh, Rumble, you almost made me choke. Oh, but you can't be saying freaky diamond while I'm drinking water. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny. Now I gotta look. I just need to look at what. Oh my gosh. I felt it. I felt like I needed to look at. You guys are gonna crack it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this so freaky. This word freaky. We use our code. It actually adds up to 66, which we have seen a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. So we've seen it for freedom is 66 and family is 66, and whenever somebody has a birthday, especially if it's a woman, then we have quality at 66 as well. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That cracked me up. That was a good one. You are a bad influence, but we love you. You just kept putting that vibration out there, so I had to look at it. Ooh, LT. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh, LT, you are so right. Oh, oh my gosh. Okay, this was a good one. This was a good one. Oh, that cracks me up. All right. So let's go back to our list. So we added Sophie so we could get our love diamond. That was interesting. So which one do we want to do first? So I wanted to show you. Actually, I think I'm going to wait. LT, let me know when you hear this and you're caught up. Because I want LT to be able to look at 2026 stuff. So, heard, cousin B, heard. um, let's look at this appeal. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, 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 okay. Perfect. I wanted to make sure. But let's look at the numbers for this appeal real quick. Um there's definitely more to come. So, what we want to watch out for this appeal is we want to do a collection of dates. Because then the dates are what are going to show us the pattern that we actually need to be paying attention to. So we need to collect the dates of like when cases were originally um filed, when there were decisions on the case, and then this appeal. So we want to look at it as a timeline vibrational pattern. So this is part of that. Um, but let's look at some of these vibrations here. Oh no. Now I have shine bright like a diamond stuck in my head. Give me something different to sing. At least it's better than the Doug theme song. Just like the first four notes of the Doug theme song. That was horrible. Let's actually look at just let's look at the word appeal. Because we know the definition of it. We know why you would do it. I mean, we might not know your why, but we know why it's available as part of court proceedings. Um, and so let's just look at the word itself. So if we use our little code, A equals 1, all the way to Z equals 26 for English, for the English language. Then we will. So then appeal is 1 plus 16 plus 16 plus 5 plus 1 plus 12, which gives us 51 and 6. Yes, Josh. Yes, 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 Josh. You are right. But remember that 11-2 keeps coming up. So we got to end that duality. We're supposed to be ending the duality in all those spaces. That's the space that we're moving into. All right. So just with this word appeal, this makes sense. So it very much gives off that you are trying to establish something new, where for an appeal you don't get to enter new evidence, but you do get a new judge to try and get a new opportunity to be able to have your case seen by a jury or to present new evidence. So definitely this new energy, and that would push forth for a change. Hi, Tiptoe Joe. I'm glad you made it. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you came in and missed the freaky talk. Exactly, LT. Exactly. Um, so the word alone, just of appeal, is giving this, all right, there's something new that needs to happen. In this case, a new judge to look at the case again to try and get a changed verdict. Makes sense. This 6 of comfort is leaning more towards the discomfort side, like the not being comfortable. So, not being comfortable with the results that currently have. So, okay, that makes sense. Let's then look at, let's first look at these number of pages, because this 117 is crazy. But it's very interesting that we have this 11 in here. So 117 pages very much is taking action in some kind of flow or out of vibrational flow, because that 7 could also represent where you're trying to force something. So you're trying to force it, and so it's outside of the actual natural vibrational flow. And it could be creating a division, or it's emphasizing the division that already exists. So interesting. But let's take the 117 and let's add it to this 51. Because this is a 117-page appeal. So 168. Yes. Okay, you stay out of the chat because I'm gonna keep looking over here. So for this is Man, oh man. So just with it being a 117-page appeal, what's happening is the first step is to face this energy, this cycling energy, this reap what you sow energy. You have to take accountability and responsibility for this energy that's coming back around. That by filing this 117-page appeal, I'm sure that they feel like that's what they're doing, is they're trying to get others to be accountable for the energy coming back around, but they're not being responsible in taking responsibility for their own contribution to that energy coming back around. And that's what's resulting in this tower. So this energy is coming back around. This reap what you sow energy is coming back around, and it's requiring you to now make this choice. Are you going to stand strong in this tower? That this is what you believe it needs to be, and it's going to stand strong? Or are you going to take responsibility for the energy that is coming back around? And this is for everybody involved. And step outside of the tower. Those that step outside of the tower, when this starts crashing down, because this, let me get a different color here. This 168 goes to 15. So when this tower comes crashing down, those that are still in the tower are now trapped by the tower. They're trapped by this energy that has come back around. Those that have taken responsibility for that energy that has come back around are standing outside and are watching this tower fall. But they also have the choice. Everybody now has a choice, just from a different perspective, of, are you choosing to be in bondage to the decision that was made, or are you going to be freed by it? And this is not just the decision that's made on the appeal, but also on your decision to take responsibility for the energy that's coming back around. Yes, LT. I was trying not to look in the chat because you're right. I do. That, yep. Galatians 6:7. Yes, I do say it a lot. Yes, I do. So, this energy's coming back around. Are you going to take responsibility for this reap what you sow energy? Are you going to stay in the tower and act like it's not going to fall? Or are you stepping outside of the tower and watching it fall? From either position, if you stayed in the tower and now you are under the rubble, are you going to continue to be in bondage and just stay there, being crushed by the reap what you sow energy? Or are you going to free yourself by now taking responsibility for it? And outside, even those that step outside of that tower, that recognize that this tower is going to fall, and they step outside of it and are experiencing it from that side, they still are having to make this choice between bondage and freedom. And whatever choice you make, that now becomes your new place of comfort. So if you fall with this tower and are trapped and in bondage to this tower and to this reap what you sow energy coming back around, get comfortable, because that's now where your comfort zone is going to be. You're going to get way too comfortable in this position of not taking responsibility and being crushed by this reap what you sow energy coming back around. Well, all right. I don't know what other vibrations can even add to that, but that is pretty clear, I think. But let's see. Let's actually look at the date it was filed. Because it is interesting too that we have this 15, and then it was filed on the 15th, and then 51 and 15 are mirror images of each other. So we have this again of, are you like accepting the responsibility of the image that you see in the mirror, of the reflection that you're seeing in the mirror? Interesting. Interesting. All right, so let's look at this date. So January 15th, 2026, which is a 10. Hmm. 1 plus 15 plus 10. Well, okay. Didn't necessarily see that coming. So we have 26, which again is another 8. So it's another time, another reoccurrence of this 8 energy, which is the reap what you sow energy. So on this date, they filed it in this energy of this reap what you sow energy with this number of pages, and it's an appeal. So this 8 energy of, you have to take responsibility for your part of this reap what you sow, is right there. But also, this 26 is the numerical vibration of the word God. And I put little g God because the 0 is that God universe energy. That's the God that is the higher power that we don't have control over. This 26 is the God that we create, or the God that we allow to rule over us. This is where we would have your idols. And a big, huge theme of 2026 is this battle between a higher power, so God in its truest sense of a higher power, versus the God that you create. Because one, you have no control over. So God, universe, higher power, we have no control over. But this God that we create, this 26 God that we create, 6 God? Okay, stop. Okay, stop. These vibrations coming in and giving me too much. The God that you create, you have control over. You can let it control you, be a victim to it, or you can change it. You can get rid of it. You are controlling it. Many times when people are going into victim mode, which we know we're going to see all in and out of this appeal, it's because they've created this God to rule over them, that they think and like to act like they don't have control over it when they do. Okay. So vibrations really want to say six God. Okay, six God. Six God. Fine. And we'll put this here. That it's if it's here and it's like this, then here you create, oh my gosh. We're getting this, we're writing this down so it could get out of my head, and then I'm not talking about this no more. So we have 6 and then God and then 6 and the 26. We are creating this portal that's bringing forth the 2. That the biggest lesson is end division and the duality. Oh my gosh. This pen is being rude. And yes, we got the 66 again. What? What? Why? What? I don't like these vibrations. These vibrations are being really fucking rude. Got all my stuff all over the place. Exactly. We were just talking about 66. And 66 is the numerical vibration of this word freedom. So it came up here also. Josh. Oh no, like we typically see, we may not catch it all the time, but we see pretty consistently that it's the same vibrations or similar themes and vibrations coming through. Because we also keep having that 2 come up. And like the 11 to 2. And so that also relates to where 2026 is a 10 vibrational year, and January being the first month, that means that January 2026 is resonating at an 11. So that's also why that vibration of 11 to 2 is very strong. Yes. Yes, LT. That vibration of 666 is extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Especially because when those vibrations come together, it's giving us that 18, which is the vibration of the cycles of the moon. All right, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but we can another day because there's a lot there. Man, well, that was much deeper than I thought it was going to be. I think I say that at least once every stream. Wow, wow, wow. Well, okay. Cross that off the list. We did that. Now, is there, before I start diving into this 2026, was there anything else that you wanted to talk about today? I want to talk a little bit about what is coming up in 2026 in hip hop in particular. Well, it is our hip hop day, so yes, in hip hop. But I'll drink some water and wait and see if there's anything else we should talk about. And then we can decide if we want to do that first or after. You and everybody, LT. Okay. Okay, cousin B. Heard. We'll go to 2026. But if there is anything else, let me know. All right. So, well, what I was seeing pretty much a lot of this week, and I think it's why I don't have as much to talk about, is because we're all of the events are fitting within a particular pattern that we're seeing for hip hop. And in looking at that pattern, that's what brings up this topic of 2026. So let me get this image that I am so happy I still haven't lost. To be so proud of me. I'm proud of me. Wait. Okay, there. It almost, I thought it wasn't gonna come up. I was about to freak out. So, wow, this came through very big. We needed this big. Oh, it made it big. Why'd you make it so big? There we go. Come on, whiteboard. Don't be ridiculous. All right. So for our, I'll do a recap. So here is our vibrational core for hip hop. These are all the vibrations that came as hip hop was born and brought into the world. All of the vibrations that make up who that hip hop culture is, the core of the culture. We then have traveling that we all do around these different squares to collect vibrations throughout our life and to build identity. Hip hop right now is right about here, where this corner is 45 years old and then this is 54 years old, and hip hop will be 54 in 2027 on its birthday. So make sure I clarify that. August 2027. Right now, hip hop is just turned 52 in 2025. And so it's here that we have the age 53. And this is 2026. So 2026 energy for hip hop will start on its birthday this year. So in August 2026, and it'll go until its next birthday of 2027. And so while hip hop is 53, it's right here at the tail end of this power square. So in this power square, the power square actually has these two big transition points. One here where it's transitioning from youth. So it's transitioning from building its identity. and it's moving into the power square, where now it's beginning to have its identity tested so it can be strengthened. This transition happened in 2000 for hip hop. So in 2000 is when hip hop began to turn 27 and turn this corner into power. So starting in 2000 is when the identity of hip hop began to be tested. Hip hop right now, so for this spot, like here, so starting at age 50, which was 2023, all the way through being 53, this is where this is some of the biggest testing you have around your wounds. This is your Chiron return. So since 2023, hip hop has been going through this exposure of its wounds. So the exposure of its wounds, to be able to now heal the wounds. And this 53 is the last year that we have this wound healing occurring before hip hop needs to move into a place of wisdom. Wisdom is square is where if you have healed your wounds, your identity has been tested, you have shown that you have stepped into who you are ultimately going to be. Then when you get to wisdom, now you are legacy building. You are using your experiences and your identity to teach others. So hip hop is moving into a space of legacy building. But before it gets there, it needs to go through this last year of 2026 to really get it to where all of these wounds do not have to be fully healed, but they have to be exposed, and there has to be an active, intentional choice to at least begin to heal it. Trying to see if there's anything else right now. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else right now for that. But what I wanted to be able to show is also in 2026 in general. So we've just stepped into this vibration of 2026 for everybody. But we have some really big things that are happening astrologically and vibrationally in 2026. So we've already seen where we had this coming together of masculine and feminine energy. So we had the Mars, Sun, Venus stellium conjunction, which is still flashing a little bit, but is not very strong anymore. But this was happening early January. We also have where it really happened in 2025, but we have Pluto in Aquarius now, where Pluto is the planet of transformation. I don't know why I'm still using the same color for everything, but it's okay. So Pluto is transformation. So changes that you cannot come back from. So it's encouraging transformation to happen in the areas of the people, but also of like innovation and revolution. We also have um, Uranus, which rules Aquarius. So this is the energy of unexpected changes, but also the energy of revolution, which would be an unexpected change, in the sign of Gemini. It just moved there, where Gemini is the space of communication. And Gemini, we've seen in hip hop, we have a lot of Gemini energy, and it's because of this communication piece. So hip hop is very in tune with Gemini energy, and it's very much reliant on it. So what we see just happening in general is there's a lot of this energy of bringing together these extremes. So that 11 to 2, no longer letting them be the extremes. That's this Mars, Sun, Venus energy. So bringing together these extremes, ending division. That 2 energy. So that there can be a complete transformation that benefits the people, the larger group of people, that's innovative and revolutionary. And it'll be in the space of communication. This could be communication technology. This could be in the way and what. So it's the way that we communicate and what is communicated. And this is happening, all of these vibrations are happening at such a pivotal time for hip hop. Hip hop is probably going to very much be displaying these vibrations. We've already kind of seen that happen, where hip hop right now is very much being the voice and the example of the vibrations that are playing out in the bigger community, in the bigger country, in the bigger world. But it's going to ramp up in 2026. Then the other thing I wanted to show you as far as 2026 is concerned is so we've looked at before, I've shown you quickly like what you get when you actually do the calculations on this chart. I'm gonna actually give us a new chart here so I don't mute the point. Let me see if it's still in here. Oh yeah, there you go. So the other thing that we use this chart for in numerology and vibrational reading is that there's some calculations that you can do where you can find like really impactful experiences. So it's kind of like, all right, you're living life, and then you have a very high vibrational impactful experience. Now, these experiences aren't necessarily positive or negative. They are neutral. So they can be both positive and negative, but they are experiences that are vibrationally impactful. So if we have our this looks weird. I don't like that. If we have our vibrational core, and as we're going through life, I'm going to do it this way. So if we have our vibrational core here, so that's our first layer. And then we're going through life, and it's like, okay, going through life, going through life, going through life. But at each one of these 9 years, you get, so let's say there was a very impactful event or experience that happened at age, we'll say age 5. Now that becomes a very clear layer of vibration that's adding to your vibrational core. It's contributing to your identity, who you are, and the vibrations that you're putting out into the world. So how you interact with the world around you and with yourself. So these can be positive experiences. They can also be negative experiences. They can be neutral experiences. We all have them. When they happen in these early youth times, they impact the identity that we're building. Then we also have similar things happen when we're going through this power, where we can have, oh, I didn't want to do that. As we're going through these power years, we could have an impactful moment. So like here, and let's say this is at age 30. At age 30, there was a very impactful moment. So now this moment is adding to the vibrational core more than other experiences and moments. And so there's a way to be able to calculate and predict when these impactful moments are going to come up in a life cycle. And this is for an individual, for a group of people, a culture, but also a country. And so, had to give you all of this so that I could say what is happening right now as we're going into 2026 is we have these 3 entities that are really interacting very strongly with each other. They always have. We'll get this. So I'm going to show you this first. So we have these 3 entities that are highly interactive with each other. Like their vibrations are highly tied. They and when they have those really impactful experiences, so when they have these impactful experiences, it really does impact each other. That's how closely tied they are. And so we have to look at, so like for hip hop, we have to look at what's vibrationally happening in the United States as a country so that we can understand how hip hop is also going to be impacted. Because hip hop, especially because hip hop has come out of a place to be the expression of everything that's happening socially, politically in the United States, we have to be aware of what these vibrations are. We also have to be aware of the vibrations of, and I like to call this the African American nation, because it seems to be able to encompass the vibrations that we need to be aware of. So, the African American nation are any of those people who were brought from Africa on the transatlantic slave trade, but also those who were already indigenous to North America, South America, and the Caribbean, that were put into slavery. All of those people were grouped together. They are who we would consider the enslaved people. And they were, while they weren't liberated at the same time, there are some pretty significant key dates that we celebrate and we use as the birth of this nation, of this freed, independent nation. Now we know we can dig all into like, are it really free? Are we not? Like, because we already know it's very deep and complex. But we need to be aware that for this group of people and anybody that's associated with these groups of people and have strong tied to these groups of people, this nation of people, that those vibrations very much run very deep and are very impactful. They run very deep through hip hop and are very impactful to hip hop, so we have to be aware of those as well. And then lastly, after that, we get to the actual vibrations of hip hop itself and its experiences that it's having as it is growing and maturing and moving through these cycles of life. So since I have it, I might as well just keep copying it, right? I say yes. What is happening? Okay, hold on. There we go. So, what I want us to look at. So now we'll work backwards. So we know that hip hop is right here in 2026. A little bit, it'll be, because the beginning of 2026, it's still here at its 52 mark until it gets to August. So this is where hip hop is. So it means that any impactful of those experiences that happen from here to here for hip hop, those are going to accumulate and be impactful for 2026. For let me see. I did not look up let's see. So going backwards, so for the African American nation, let me just check real quick and make sure. But in 2026, the African American nation will be 161 years old, and its birthday is Juneteenth. That's the birthday that we use. So in June is when the African American nation will, I'm trying to do too many things at once, turn 161. I'm going to look up real quick and make sure I know where that falls on our little chart here. Because I forgot to look it up. Let's see. All right, while I'm doing that, let me know if you have any questions so far. It gets here. Here. I'm trying to see because I have a little chart that tells me, well, that I made, because of course, you know, I have to make my own thing, like how old a group or a nation is at certain points. That's not telling me here. Maybe this one. Nope. All right, I'm gonna keep looking. I'm gonna look one more place, and if I can't find it, then we'll just have to calculate it. We'll just have to calculate it. She says. We'll just do that. But I think. All right, I'm gonna look one more place. Yep, found it. All right, so let's see. 161. Yeah. Okay. So 161 would put the African American nation right here, where it's just ending. It'll just be ending its wisdom. So 161, because right here is when it'll turn 162, where now it'll be going into another cycle of identity building. So this African American nation is also at a very key and pivotal point for making this transition. So we have both hip hop transitioning at 2027, and this is where the African American nation will be now transitioning in 2027. Like big huge transitions. The last one for the United States. The United States is currently, well, for 2026, it'll be right here. So this is the US in 2026. So it's just like 9 years into now adding another layer to its identity. And this is actually when it'll hit its 250th year. So it's actually over here. It's like this. It's like over here, more like. Yeah, so the US will turn 250, which is a big, important time. So if we look at the history of empires that have ruled the earth and have conquered the earth. The years 200, like when they're 250 to like 300 years old, is a very big, important time for any kind of empire, any kind of nation, any kind of country. It's around that time when you see if they are now becoming a solidified nation, stronger, or they're settling into their place of power, or they are beginning to fall and crumble. So that's usually between 250 and 300 year mark. This also coincides with a Pluto return. So wherever your Pluto, which we've already talked about, is a planet of transformation, wherever your Pluto is, we don't, as an individual, don't currently have a Pluto return, because this only happens every 248 to 250 years. It takes Pluto that long to get back to the same position that it would have been when anything and anybody was born. But for something like the country, like the United States, it's encountering this Pluto return. It's already like in the depth of it. It's already hit like the peak of it. The peak of this Pluto return was in 2022. And then actually right now, both hip hop and the United States are experiencing that Chiron return of the wound. So wound exposure. That's for both hip hop, which is like here, started in 2023, and then will go all the way to its transition. And for the US, started like here. So actually right around the same time. It was closer for, no, it was probably 2023 also, all the way to its 250 mark. So 2026. So there's a ton of vibrations that are happening right now that are really pushing for transformation, but transformation in a way that's revolutionary. So revolutionary transformation. We see that again when we look at okay, so I know. This is all like a lot. But I think it's really important because this is a topic, these topics are what we need to keep an eye out for and what are going to keep coming up this year. Because as each of these entities are moving into that 2026 energy, we're going to see these vibrations become very strong. So these vibrations of transformation and revolution in 2026, they will start for the United States. Like they've kind of already started. We are seeing the build up to it, but these will start with its birthday, July 4th. For the African American nation, we'll see all of these start to build up and accumulate again around its birthday, which would be June 19th. And then for hip hop, we're going to see it again also. And this will really start happening at its birthday on August 11th. So we'll see these vibrations ramping up and they'll be adding to each other. And each one of these entities will be moving into that space. really close to each other, like bam, 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 right back to back to back. We can see it in our vibrational readings also. And this is what alerted me to needing to bring this to you. So even if it's not making complete sense now, I think it's something that we need to just talk about and be prepared for, so that when we do see it, we're not surprised. I like surprises, but only when they're good surprises. And these could be good surprises, but they could also be very unnerving. So let me move this down, give us some space here. So this is what I look at. These are the experiences that are calculated using that divine triangle. And so what we can see, so the colors are the same here. I don't know if you can see the difference in colors, but the blue is the United States. And you can see so blue is United States, the orange is that African American nation, the green is hip hop. The green is the darkest one here. You could see the orange pretty well. The one that's dark but not as dark as the green, that's the blue. So I apologize for anybody that's colorblind or that this is too small for you to be able to see really well. If you want to look at this closer, just let me know. You can just send me an email or let me know on Discord, and I can send you some of these images so that you can look at. What I wanted to point out was that we have a few times where wherever you see a peak, that's where one of these super impactful vibrations is happening, these vibrational experiences. So typically you see that there's these vibrational experiences that are happening in isolation. They're happening and they impact each other, but not as strongly. Every now and then we have ones like this where it's happening at the same time for, like, usually it's only 2 of these vibrations. So like here, this is in 2008. So this one is 2008. And we could go back and look in the history to see what this is. But this is an impactful time for the African American nation with a 45 experience. And we can look into and we can break down what these experiences are as well. But it also was a very important time for hip hop, a very impactful time for hip hop with a vibration of 50. So all of you hip hop historians, this is one year to really look at how was what was happening with Black people and this African American nation impacting hip hop and vice versa. Like, they were very impactful. We have a similar pattern here. This is actually the exact pattern in 2017. So something else to see is that this 2008 is a 10-year. 2017, 10-year. We are 2026 is a 10-year. But in 2026, so what we're coming into, so 2026 here, another 10-year. But we have all three all three of these vibrations are peaking together. I haven't seen this. If you look all through the trajectory of these three vibrations and the patterns of them moving together, you do not see this happening. Like, this is pretty huge. So, what we want to look at is what was happening in 2008 and 2017 for the African American nation, because in all three of these times, the African American nation was having this 45 experience. And I will dig into this more and give you some more videos to give you exactly what these vibrations mean. But I just wanted to bring this to your attention today. We have, for all three of these time points, hip hop is experiencing a 50 vibration. But what's making 2026 different than these other two is now we have the United States that's right there with it, having a 47 vibrational experience. So this is very similar to what we were seeing, where we have like Mars, the Sun, Venus all there together. We have the Saturn and Neptune are coming together. These are like big vibrational entities, like the planets, interacting very closely together and having a very closely tied vibrational experience in 2026. And all three also did not have any vibrational experience in 2025. So as crazy as 2025 was and felt, what we were feeling was that shift. We were feeling this building up of energy, because the real impactful time is actually coming in 2026. I have to dig in more to be able to get us some more information. But whatever is coming, and for hip hop in particular, because hip hop is the one that is impacted the most by these other two vibrational entities. So we can also do these charts for individuals. Like, you can look at yourself with your partner and your children. We can look at all that together. These are just very big vibrational entities that we need to pay attention to. Okay, so 2028 was when Lil Wayne came through. Okay. Okay. And then 2017 was okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you, LT, for looking that up. Because, and let me know, LT, what of this information would actually help you put some of your videos together, because this is feeling very much in your wheelhouse. Of talking about how these year patterns can give us some prediction for this 2026 coming up. So you said 2017 was when the Damn album came out, and it won the Pulitzer. Wow. Okay, and then here was when it was Lil Wayne coming out. Wow. Okay. Yeah, there's something brewing. So we have to start looking at the events of 2025 and even before that. Because even in um 2024, when we had some really impactful events and we had, the Kendrick Lamar rap battle here, there's interaction here between the United States and hip hop in 2024. But in 2025, it's all three of them together. So there is something coming in 2026. And it's not just like cuz we could probably look at these this trajectory, like these patterns for hip hop, and see that there are like wherever hip hop was peaking and having a key event, what the albums were, who the artists were, what were the events that were happening, and it would have just been a big deal in the hip hop space. But when they're overlapping like this, there's something really important happening. Because we do have times like so like here, which is like 2005. So this is when we would have had Hurricane Katrina happening, where you can see all three entities are having a vibrational experience in that year. So let me write this. This is 2005. They're all having like a major vibrational experience in that year, but they're not overlapping like this. They're not this highly interactive. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Cause then 2008, yeah. 2008 would have been when Obama was first elected. And that makes sense for that impactful event for both the African American nation and for hip hop. Wow. So this just like I've been looking at this for actually several months. Um but for some reason it just became very bright and very loud for me this morning and needed to bring it to your attention. So we will continue to talk about this, but this is what we need to look at and prepare for. This is what we need to be able to actually make some predictions in stepping into 2026. Yes. Yes. LT, look, got all of it. Yes. LT, you let me know what you need. Like, what images do you need? What information do you need to expand on this? Cuz I told you this is your lane right here. Like, this is all you. Cuz this is some kind of something is coming here in 2026, and it's impactful for all three of these entities. Where 2008 and 2017, it was really an impactful experience for the African American nation, for Black people and anybody associated, and for hip hop, the hip hop culture and anybody associated. But this one in 2026 has the US now coming in there. And it's interesting, even when you're looking at those historical events like that you're posting, LT, that those weren't as impactful for the United States. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I'm not gonna get too caught up in this because we could deep dive and do research all day long on this. I'm going to what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go check out what's happening over here on the I want to see what's happening with the volcano and get some water, and then we'll spin our wheel. How about that? Okay, let me get to where I can actually change our view. Thank you, Rumple. 2000. So it was 2016. Won seven Grammys in 2016. Okay, look at this, man. This is crazy. It's still going crazy. The first Grammy was won in 2016. Okay. Yeah, we got to look at that timeline because what it's going to look at is like it's so going from 2008, what was leading up to that experience in 2008, and then how that experience impacted other experiences until we got to 2017. And then what was the next big impactful experience? Well, that makes sense though because the Grammys would have happened in 2016 or it would have happened in 2017, but hip hop would have still been in its 2016 energy. So that actually makes sense. Yeah. This volcano is woof. Huge energy release. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, the Grammys are next week. I need to pull out they're next week on Sunday. So maybe on Saturday next week when we come together in a week, we can we'll pull out the vibrations that we looked at before and we'll see what if we have any other vibrations we could add to it or if we could look at those and make some predictions. That'll be fun. And I think is tomorrow the Oscars? Is tomorrow the Oscars? Cuz Sinners has what? 16 nominations for Oscars? Yes, LT, if you could do me a favor and send me what you're finding, because I do want to go back and listen to things and start mapping out some of those time slots. Yeah, Sinners has 16 and it's tomorrow. Man, I don't know if I'll have time to put a video together, but I actually did some of my first videos were on Sinners. So I did a prediction video for the movie Sinners before I went and saw it, just looking at the vibrations of the names, and then I think just of the dates and the trailer. And then I did a follow-up review, a vibrational review of Sinners. So I have to go back and look at that. But it's on my YouTube channel if anybody's interested. Certainly check it out. But that'll be fun. Oh, whew, this is so cool. Oh, I can spin our wheel. I just realized I could spin our wheel while we're still looking at this. Are you ready to spin the wheel? Because that's the last thing we have. Spin the wheel to get our vibration for the week. Okay, yeah, I'll grab I'll need somebody to remind me because I'll be forgetting. But I can grab the two um videos I have on Sinners and yeah, pin them in the description. Yep, I can do that. Okay, let's spin the wheel. Spin that wheel. All right, here we go. Spin that wheel with the volcano. Woohoo! Ooh. Okay. Okay. Tiptoe, where'd you come from? I knew you were there. I know you like to just be listening in. But I love it when you just be popping back in. Like, hello. So 978 is the vibration for this week. So let me get us back over here. So for anybody that hasn't heard my spiel, I'll say it again. So every week we spin our wheel, get a vibration that we are going to be paying attention to and looking for throughout the week. So for 978, we wouldn't expect this we can't really see this as a time. So we would expect to see these kind of playing together. We would expect to see 978. But what I'm first picking up, actually let's add this all up. So this gives us 24. Which takes us to a 6. So we get all the vibrations. But what is kind of coming up is that these vibrations of 9, 7, and 8 are very much moving around and interacting with each other in very interesting ways. It's not all three of them really together. So basically what we want to be looking for is like where we see 97, 98, and 78. These, and I know these aren't all the combinations, but these are the three that are coming up as very dominant. So one I already know, like this 98 is actually the numerical vibration of the name of the movie Sinners. It also is the numerical vibration of trust. So we could look for a lot of discussions of this theme of trust, but also a lot of discussions around sinners, which we would expect to have as we're going into Oscar night and whatever results from that. 97, I've already been seeing pretty heavy. I think we've seen it a couple times here. But this is that 16, so this is that tower energy. And then 78 we've already seen today also. In as far as it being the energy of that 15 to 6, where it's that choice between bondage and freedom. Something else that's coming up is here. So this 17-8. So it's interesting because we're getting 6, 7, 8, and then we have the 9 already here. But so there's some kind of progression happening. So we want to this week pay attention for these vibrations. It feels very much like it's just a list of vibrations to look out for. So the full thing of 978, 97, 98, 78. And then these ending vibrations where it's really like 6, 7, 8, 9. Like looking for that pattern of progression, up or down. That's all right. We haven't had that happen very often, where it's more broken up. It's not a fuller vibrational story. So that's what we're looking out for this week. Oh, yes, LT. You got all the good stuff. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Josh, stop it. Oh my goodness. You all are hilarious. This was fun. We got some good stuff. We talked about some good stuff today. This was a good live. We got pretty deep into these vibrations too. Good work, everybody. So I'm gonna go eat and then go and see if Cousin B is actually showing the volcano on Twitch. And even if he isn't, I'll be on Twitch watching whatever he's watching and watching the volcano on another screen. Yeah, we can watch Sinners before. Yeah, we should watch Sinners before the Oscars. Ooh, that'd be fun. Okay, okay, okay. I gotta go. I'm gonna go eat and get some tea, and I will see you all around, probably in Cousin B's Twitch. Um, I will be back live on Wednesday on Twitch. I don't know what I'm talking about, but we've had some pretty significant things happen. So we'll see what comes up to read vibrations for that. And then I will be back here on YouTube live on Friday. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. If you didn't hit the like button on your way in, please hit it on your way out. Oh, I definitely will, LT. Thank you. And I will see you all soon. Thank you so much.